I referenced him before, but my dad's Puerto Rican.
Hueva!
Hey, huepa! Hey! Dad? Did you time travel? You might be my brother. I haven't seen my dad. He, is Puerto Rican, was Puerto Rican. I don't know. I haven't seen him. My dad said to me once, he goes, Peter, I have 6 kids from 12 women. Yeah, he's not good at math, but he can multiply. You know what I'm saying? All right, you're all coming to the special taping. Yeah, you're too good of an audience. Yeah, so Peter Rivera Murphy, if you're looking to diversify your friend group, Peter Rivera Murphy. You're casting a student short film, Peter Rivera Murphy. You need a ringer for your son's Little League team? I'll shave. Call me Papo Gonzalez. Switch it up to Cuban just for you guys, just for you. Yeah, so I was 25 years old, and I had never spoken to my dad in person, only on the phone. And then I'm 25. This was a number of summers ago. Because now when people ask me, I say I'm too old for Coachella. But I was 25 years old, and I thought, well, he's getting older, I'm getting older. I've never really met my dad or spoken to him actually in person. The only times I'd spoken to him was the day I graduated high school. He called me, and he said, hey, I'm really proud of you. And I go, who is this? Because that's also like the opposite of what most dads say to their kids. Most, especially Hispanic dads, they're like, they don't give that up really. You heard Jose. So, but it was like he had farted in an elevator, then jumped out. He was like, I'm proud of you. See ya. And so some years pass. I'm 25 years old. I'm in New York City for a comedy festival. And I go, all right, I'm going to look this guy up. Lives in upstate New York. And I talked to my mom, who talked to her friend Gladys, who is cousins with my father. Yeah, keep it all in the family. Really tight. Yeah, exactly. My mom's friend Gladys is cousins with my dad. I think that's how they met, because I don't really know. And if you want to do the math, which we'll do right now, my birthday is December 20th, right? And yeah, great, Sagittarius. Where my Sag Kings at? There you go. Yeah. So, if you go back 9 months from late December, that is, St. Patrick's Day. Oops. Added to the fact that the only information my mom gave me, which was confirmed by my dad when I finally met him, was that they had met at an underground nightclub my dad was running. Yeah. So they'd only really met like one time, and they had sex, and then I was created. Yeah, and so anyhow, I'm like, okay, I gotta find this guy. Call up my dad. Get his number from Gladys, my mom's friend, his cousin. And I go, hey, it's Peter. It had been 7 years since he said he was proud of me. As a son, you really hold on to that. But he's got a number of kids. He's probably dishing that out all over the place. Probably for nothing. Oh, you brought me my beer. I'm proud of you. That sounds Irish. Well, he's Puerto Rican. It's on the other side. Yeah. So I'm fucked on both ends. All right? Yeah, exactly. Mom, is that you? So I call him up and I say, hey, it's Peter, your son. And he goes, who? Yeah. Ouch. I go, hey, it's Peter, your son. I'm Christine's son. And he goes, I can't see him on the phone, obviously, but I heard him go, and I could feel him do one of these. I said, I'm Peter, Christine Murphy's son. And he goes, oh, Chrissy? Chrissy. Now, I'd only ever called my mom, or mother, or Christine, if I didn't want to embarrass her. can I get the Lucky Charms? Yeah, shut up. So he goes, Chrissy? And again, I'd only ever referred to my mom as mother, but I knew her name was Christine. And then it kind of hits you in a weird way when you hear your mom's like club name. Chrissy, like Christine, you know, my mom. Let me paint the picture. 6'1", no joke. Yeah, exactly. White as hell, and had a mullet my entire life. Had some mullet. I got a little flow right here, but no, nothing compared to her. Tough person, right? Tough, like she plays like volleyball, you know. And so I'm not picturing Chrissy. Chrissy's like wearing a mini skirt or like, you know, on top of a bar doing shots, that kind of crazy stuff. And so I go, yeah, Chrissy. So he's like, oh, okay, hey, what's up? And I go, hey, you know, I'm in New York City. I'd love to take a train up to meet you if you have any time this weekend. It was a Thursday. And I go, if you're free Saturday. And he goes, he thinks about it. And he said, yeah. But I couldn't see him again. So I pictured him saying, yeah. With whoever he was there with. And so then I go, all right, great, Dad. I'll be there at 3 o'clock at this train station. Pick me up. I'll text you the details if anything changes. And I'll text you when I'm on my way. And he goes, okay, great. Hey, real quick, do you want anything? And this wasn't, hey, can I grab your Starbucks order? This wasn't, hey, do you want those Lucky Charms Mom didn't get you? This was, do you want anything? Like, are you coming armed and ready to fuck? And I didn't even think about it. It was like talking to like a scared raccoon. I was just like, no, I don't want anything, just want to meet you, that's it. So then hung up the phone, he hung up, let out a big sigh, and I thought, okay, I've got 48 hours until I meet my dad. What kind of dad am I gonna have? It was a pretty cool feeling at first, because like there's all sorts of dads, you know? There's all sorts of dads. There's Trivia Dad. I don't know if you guys have a Trivia Dad. Trivia Dad's driving with you. Trivia Dad's driving with you in the car, you're in the back seat, and a song comes on, he goes, hey, wait, real quick. Can anyone tell me who this is? Nope. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Yep, nope. That's a Trivia Dad. People have the Trivia Dad. Then there's, oh my God, I don't know what kind of dad this is, but growing up, my friend Blake's a mess, but you know. You think I'm terrible, Jesus. Blake's in the Navy. So Blake, we went out with Blake's dad one day in high school, and this is the type of dad he has. Please, you know, let me know if there's a specific dad for the category for this. But I go, me, my buddy Joey, and Blake. Blake's white. I'm, you know, whatever the fuck. And then, and then Joe's Dominican. So we go out. Blake's dad was upset. He didn't want us to be in his house, whatever, you know, with our dirty hands or whatever it was. So we go out to this chicken restaurant, and he goes, hey Joey, is that food? Do you like your meal? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, Blake's dad says, yeah, everything tastes good when it's free. What kind of dad is that? There's Math Dad. I don't know if anyone has a Math Dad. Math Dad is like, oh, well, we can't spend this money because I need $6,842 more till I can retire. It's Math Dad. Then there's It's Better Somewhere Else Dad. I don't know if you know that. Like, you know, I grew up in Florida, and when it would be cold, it would be like 50 degrees, right? But that's not cold. But to us, you know, we're used to like 80, 90 degrees. But like my friend Matt's dad, he would always be like, oh, 50 degrees? This is a beach day in Boston. Better Somewhere Else Dad. Better Somewhere Else Dad. So anyhow, I'm thinking about all these dads, like Ken dolls, just kind of like lined up. Which version am I going to get? What type of dad am I going to get? What should I call him, you know? And, you know, I didn't really know his name, but my mom said his name is Papo. And I go, what? What kind of name is that? That's not given to you at birth, what? So, New York City, I leave there. This was the summer of Frances Ha, so, you know, millennials were popular. Frances Ha that summer. And Greta Gerwig, love her. So, so I'm going on the train just thinking, you know, snap a selfie, think about dad. You know. Get there at 3 o'clock. I get there at 3 o'clock. And I get off the train, he's nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. Nowhere to be seen. Not, you know, nobody's at this train station. I'm the only one that gets off of this train, and I'm thinking, what did I get myself into? He's not there. I text him, he's not there. An hour goes by, not there. 4:15-ish. A white truck covered in construction dust and Puerto Rican flags with a back seat, like the back window was filled with plush frogs for some reason. It's like a Puerto Rican thing, I guess. I have no idea. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. He loved you more, I know. He taught you the words. So he comes in. This construction truck rocks up. He hops out. The other side, his friend gets out. Big guy, right? Like, you better not be asking for anything type of guy, you know? They both approach me, and I'm thrown off because I didn't expect two dudes. I'm like, what was that St. Patrick's Day like? Was Chrissy living her best life? I want to say thanks, Mom, for being here. No, I'm just kidding. So then, yeah, his buddy's over there. I didn't even remember his name. But my dad's walking towards me, and I remember everything about this moment. Every single thing about this moment, because it was the first time I ever saw my dad in person. And he looked exactly like me. Same features, same ears, same hands, same feet. He was barefoot for some reason. No idea. So he walks up to me, shakes my hand, he goes, hey, I'm Papo. And I go, wow, really? And so it turns out his name is Sifredo Rivera. We're using real names tonight, I don't care. So his real name is Sifredo Rivera, but he has so many kids in town from other women that they call him Papo. Swear to God. Yeah, and so he takes me all around, and he's a construction worker, and he does everything that you'd think he would do for a guy who hasn't really wanted anything to do with me for 25 years. He drives me around buildings that he helped build. He shows me where he got pulled over for a DUI. He stops and points at a hospital where he thinks I was born. He was busy that day, And meanwhile, his friend is in the opposite direction doing a drug deal. And I catch that out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, and then, you know, then we have seafood. He shows me a gun. Stuff you'd expect your dad to be doing. And so then a couple hours leave, and the last train back to New York City's there. I'm staying in Brooklyn. Again, millennials were really cool back then. And before we go back to the train to where he drops me off, we go around the park, and it felt forced because there were a couple women that came over, and they were like, "Oh, hey, hey, Papo, what's up?" And he's like, "Oh, this is my son," and it felt like really plastic and like fake. and and the women that he introduced me to were like, "Oh yeah, this is a great guy. He's so fun. He's so cool." And I was like, I wish I was around. Wish I knew about it. And then he sees these two women in the distance, and I'm thinking, and he like comments, he's like, "Look at those two women over there." And before he could say anything, I'm like, this can't be my dad anymore. This is either, I'm 25, this is a guy that I could either choose to have in my life and be my friend, or someone I may never talk to again. And I'm like, on the fence about that. And then he says, "Hey, look at those bitches over there." And I'm like, oh. He's like, "You go for the giraffe one, I'll get the other one." And I go, "Yeah, let's be best friends." But then then I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. But they did show me the gun, so I've got to be cool. So drops me off at the train station, and he goes, "Hey, here's a little something, thanks for spending time with me this afternoon." And he gives me $50, and I go, "Fuck, I got this like 50 like burning a hole in my pocket. Like I don't want to I got to spend this. I don't want to spend it on a t-shirt that I'm gonna look at. I want to spend it on like a really good meal or something. I don't want to spend it on something I'll ever remember." So I got this $50 in my pocket. And I asked him a few questions over the time that we were together. But I asked him, I was like, "Hey, by the way, I know you weren't there when I was born, but what would you have named me? What would you have named me?" And he says, he thinks about it, and he says, "Oh, I would have named you Papo Rivera." Legal name Papo Rivera. What the fuck? Legal name Papo Rivera. All right, I'm Peter Murphy, right? Right, yeah, and that's fine, yeah. But Papo Rivera, he's probably lost he's chipped his two front teeth from being in a fight. Mini Papo Rivera Jr.'s probably gotten a DUI. Mini Papo Rivera's probably gotten a reckless driving. Mini Papo Rivera has probably reached for a cop's gun in Florida. And I have done all those things. So he wouldn't have been wrong. So he gives me the 50. I get on the train, and I'm like, fuck. So I get back to Brooklyn. I take this girl that I was seeing at the time, and we go see Frances Ha, of course. And we sat at one of those nice theaters, and I paid for everything, and they brought food to our seats, one of those reclining types of situations, and god damn it, that's like one of my favorite directors of all time. So I can't think about my dad. I can't think about Frances Ha without thinking about my dad, which fucking sucks. Fuck that guy, man. I was happy to grow up in Florida. I was really happy to grow up in Florida. My grandma is tough as I was raised. My grandma, my grandpa, and my mom. Yeah, they're great. Yeah, my grandma, she's tough as nails. I would go, "Hey, grandma, I want to go to the mall," and she would go, "Why would you go to the mall? I could stab you for free in our kitchen right here." We lived in a rough part of Florida called Florida. Yeah.